Please join me in welcoming back our director, Shoshannah Stern. And if you'd like to introduce anyone else, you're welcome to.
Yes, I would like to welcome our producer, Robyn Kopp, down as well. And thank you, Robyn. And the one, the only, but not alone anymore, Marlee Matlin.
Okay, to get us started, I would love to hear a little bit more about the genesis of this collaboration, Shoshannah and Marlee. Maybe we start with you, Shoshannah. How you first reached out to Marlee, what convinced you that you needed to make this film? I know that you were inspired by her, but I'd love to hear more about how the project started.
It didn't happen that way. It happened the other way around. I'll let Marlee talk about it.
Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. It really makes me very happy. Way past my bedtime, by the way. So I'll make this brief as possible. I had lunch with the folks from American Masters and PBS, who asked me if I would be willing to do a movie with them about my life story. So I said, sure. And with my manager, my agents with me in tow, and I listened to them, and I said, sure, but I have only one condition. And they said, what? And I said, it has to be directed by a deaf woman. And they were like, oh, really? Okay. Do you know who? I said, yes, I do. And I said, long shot, sure. Well, okay. Actually, has she directed before? I said, no. And I was eating a delicious salad at the time, as I was just eating and sort of observing their reactions. And of course, the rest is history, because here she is.
And so, Shoshannah, I think one of the things that I really love about the film is that we see you on screen. I love the couch interviews, and I wonder if you knew that that was always going to be part of the film and how you wanted to shoot those interviews with Marlee.
Well, kind of. No, I didn't know. When I found out that I had gotten the job, I realized, well, first I asked one question in response. I said, does Marlee know? And they said, yes, it was Marlee's idea. I thought, oh, okay, that's fine. And so I started watching other documentaries, which I've always enjoyed, watching docs. And I realized that for the first time in a long time, what we've known of documentary films is that they are usually sound-based. All documentaries are sound-based until now. My favorite part in the documentary is usually when the interviewer is sitting behind the camera and they're talking with the subject, and then the interviewer asks a wild question that the subject doesn't expect. And I realized I really liked that. And I thought, wait, if we're using sign language, how are we going to do that in this film? And I figured we'd have to change the form to make it more of a visual documentary, but I wasn't sure how we were going to do that. And then it was like within 2 weeks that I had gotten the job, they said, Shoshannah, go film Marlee Matlin. She's doing her another first. She's the first deaf director to be in the DGA because she's the first deaf person to direct an episode of network TV. And so we went to film Marlee. she had her emotional response, I knew I had to be there with her. I mean, I'm the only other person in the room that would know what she was going through. I didn't have any other choice. And I had to be there to support Marlee. And we had that conversation that you see in the film, and I realized the film spoke to me in a way. And I realized I had to be there with her, with Marlee. And I didn't want her to be alone in that moment when I was starting to ask her questions about things that she had experienced in her life. I knew I couldn't do that. And I knew I wanted this film to be more of a conversation than just an interrogation. And so I told Marlee, wear cute socks. And all Marlee's socks were cute, so that didn't matter anyways.
They were really.
I told you, she has cute socks on right now.
I did notice the shots.
Smiley faces.
Marlee, can you speak to what the experience was from your perspective of just being so vulnerable about your life story and sharing that, and what it's been like to rewatch it in this week?
Well, I'm not young. And I've had so much that I've experienced through life. I've experienced a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I've met so many people. And I initially wrote a book called I'll Scream Later. And I've had a lot of conversations with a great number of people, and from all walks of life. So many conversations, interesting conversations. And I've often wondered if I would ever have a film based on my life. I've often thought of that, to be honest. But how I would go about doing that, how would it be put together, what would it look like, how would it be authentic, like this movie was. And I didn't think, well, that's never gonna happen. Until this happened. And then I realized, in fact, I waited for the right time, and my instincts told me that it was the right time with her. She came into my life, and so I was patient. I didn't look for it, I didn't seek it out, I didn't ask about it. I just let it be. And I'm glad that it came naturally. And I'm still very emotional, even watching this film again. It's hard for me to be standing here, really, in front of all you guys, but I appreciate that you came out tonight.
Thank you.
I really want to touch you, but I know you don't want me to touch you.
Stay where you are.
Okay. I'll just imagine.
And my two neighbors from out in California, they're here tonight too. They just happened to be here tonight. I'm so glad.
Awesome
I love you.
neighbors. Robyn, can you speak to how you got into the project and what drew you to the project?
What drew me to the project? I mean,
Yeah, and it's obvious.
yeah. I work with a husband and wife filmmaking team, Bonnie Cohen and John Shank. Where do you want me to go, Carrie? Yeah. Thank you, Carrie Aiken, our interpreter coordinator and our interpreter for Shoshannah throughout the whole production. Her husband is here tonight, Sam. He's very proud. And she's very mad at me. Okay. I work with a husband and wife filmmaking team, Bonnie Cohen and John Shank in San Francisco. We have a company called Actual Films. American Masters approached us and said, would you like to produce a film about Marlee Matlin? Yes. Would you like to work with Shoshannah Stern? She's a first-time deaf director. She needs a team. I watched what Shoshannah did with our editor, Sarah Newens. They cut together a fundraising piece, and I was blown away. I mean, what you saw tonight was there already. She knew from the beginning. And I just asked her if I could be a part of it. And I'm so grateful that she said yes and that I got to help her achieve her vision. It was such an honor. I'm so proud.
I want to open it up to the audience. Right here.
Marlee, you're beautiful, and this movie was so beautiful and touching. I found myself in tears many times, especially when you showed the scenes of your family, which obviously is a major moment of gives you great pride. Of all your milestones and accomplishments outside of your family, what is the most meaningful to you?
In the film business, you mean?
In anything outside of your family?
My family. That's always been number one.
No, outside of your family.
Oh, okay, well. Well,
It's me, huh?
okay, I'm thinking about family, but no, I can't talk about family. Happiness. Happiness comes to me. I mean, it's pretty similar. Health and happiness is probably a big accomplishment. The people in my life that I really care about. Just the people, folks. I do, but I keep thinking family. It keeps coming to the forefront of my mind. I really can't say that much. I mean, it's hard to push that aside, really. I really can't, I'm sorry. My tattoos, maybe?
Other questions right here?
Speaking of family, have your brothers seen the movie? Did it promote any
No.
conversation?
They're gonna see it tomorrow. I had a conversation with one of them today. And they're nervous. One of them, unfortunately, read comments on social media that I wish he or they did not read, knowing sometimes, you can't help it. And he said, and I said, try not to read those from now on. But I'm feeling, I called them. I had a call today, a FaceTime call. And I feel they need to, I need to give them a heads up about the particular scene in the film where I fingerspelled the word bored. Because I know some people have different perspectives of that particular scene, where I'm spelling bored. That particular scene might hurt their feelings. And yet, he already heard about it. I don't know how they heard about it. They did. So, that being said, I told him that I would not call them after they've seen the film. And I told them that I will be waiting for their call back to give them time to digest. Think about it. And give them space, to get in touch with me and say they're excited. They said they're excited, they're nervous, and I haven't talked to the other brother yet, so. But hey, what can you do? I look forward to, I know this film will start a conversation, and I hope there will be positive outcomes, as there should be. There should be.
I what I told Marlee, because we had talked about that scene, and I think this movie is not about who the specifics are, but why, specifically in that scene. The message at the time was with archival. You never have a normal child. That's what they were told. You have to accept the fact that this will be different having a deaf child. You have to try to speak with them. That was the system that they grew up in. And I don't think that we can really blame the people who grew up in that system. I think we do better when we know better. And I think that's why the film is so important, to show that there is a different perspective and to help people understand why the system does need to change.
No one is to blame. No one should be put in a bad light. Simple as that.
I think we have time for one more question right here.
As an interpreter, can you discuss what it's like to have the growth, the bond, the relationship you've had with the same interpreter for, dare I say, over 3 decades?
Jack!
Come on up.
No.
Come on.
Jack is a great guy. He's so smart, so handsome. And he loves saying these things about himself. We worked together for 38, did you say 8?
She said 9.
39. I said 39 first, then you criticized me, I said 39. So, he's already corrected me anyway. That's what Jack is like. And he is a very unusual friend. We have an unusual friendship and business relationship. And it can be complex, oftentimes. And we're like brothers and sisters, we're like siblings. And his parents are deaf. And he's a codec, obviously. And you want to say something? No, I just hated seeing my hair and all those different pictures from my I can't believe that I can see those again. Say something? What? I hold signs? She put me on the spot. No, I mean, this is a movie for all of us who grew up in the deaf community, from what we knew. It was the first time I ever saw myself on a screen, signing, by myself without her. And I saw a little of my dad, he's 100. Oh, wow. And my mom signing, she passed away 3 years ago. Our mothers died 3 months from each other. So there's something there, a connection. And I'm old, but working with her makes me feel very young. So. I'm gonna go back.
Unfortunately, we do have to wrap up, but I want to thank you all for this wonderful film. Thank you, Marlee, for sharing your life. Thank you, Shoshannah, for being such a sensitive and wonderful director. Thank you, Robyn, for being a part of the project. Thank you, Jack. And thank you all for being here. Thank you.